Do you have an electronics project that requires Wi-Fi capability? Well, if so, consider this ESP8266 development board. In this video, we'll program it using Arduino to connect to our Wi-Fi router and host a web page. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Alright, to get started we need to load the correct boards. So to do that, go to File, Preferences, and then in the Additional Boards Manager URLs, enter this URL. I'll put this in the description of the video. After you enter it, go ahead, click OK, and it will install all the boards for the ESP for you. After that's installed, go ahead and choose your board. It'll be available for you under Tools. So for us, we are using the generic ESP8266 module right here, as you can see. And this will allow you to upload to your board. If you want to see some examples, you can go to the example section and they'll have several examples you can use. There's one here called Blink, which you might want to try out just to test your connection. It just blinks the LED on the board. Alright, now that we got the new board set up, let's go ahead and code this up. Now there are a few files here or include messages that I'll just copy in here. And these will help us or allow us to set up the web server. So we've got a web server and then the Wi-Fi modules here. Web server, we're going to run this on port 80, which is the default port. And then the Wi-Fi, we'll declare a variable here, Wi-Fi. And then we're going to need three functions to handle the web calls. We'll have one called handle root. This will be the default page that the user will connect to. We'll have one called handle not found in case they connect to it and ask for a URL that we don't know about. And then one called handle LED, and this will be the method that we'll use to process the input that they send us and flash the LED. Now in the setup, if you want to send anything to serial output, you can set that here. We did that just to debug this. And then the multi-Wi-Fi is used to connect to your router. Now the first thing you're going to do here is put in your Wi-Fi, the name of your Wi-Fi, and then the password. So I won't enter mine here, but go ahead and complete this for your Wi-Fi, and then I'm going to set up a while loop on the multi-Wi-Fi. So run, as long as it's not connected, just go in the loop here. We'll wait for connection. Just put a little bit of delay, 250 milliseconds. Alright. And then for the domain name service, use this method to give it a name. We'll call it ESP server, that way we can differentiate it on our router. And then we're going to set up our listeners. So the first one is going to be for the root or the default web page that it's going to host. This is going to be a get, and then we'll pass it the name of a method, and we called ours handle root. Also want to make one for the LED. We'll call this LED to make it simple. It's also a get. And we'll call our handle LED function. And then we'll have one that's for URL that's not found. This is handle not found. Alright. Then what we're going to do is we're going to flash the LED. So on this board, LED is on pin 16. We'll set the output. And then we'll set the LED to off. It's a pull down, so we'll set it to high to turn it off. And now we get down to our loop. Now the first thing we're going to do is just tell it to handle the client. In other words, it's just going to listen for requests. And check for connections. Very good. Now let's write our methods. So we'll start with handle root. Void handle root. So the root is going to display our web page. And to do that, we simply just use HTML. So instead of typing it out here, I'm just going to copy this in because the syntax is rather cryptic. But I will note that whenever you use the double quotation mark here, you have to escape it by putting a backslash in front of it. So if you're wondering why there are all these extra backslashes, we just do that in front of every quotation mark. Just to go over this pretty quickly, we are creating a form here, and the action is called /LED. You'll notice that matches up with this handle LED declaration right here. We have a text field where the user will enter a number of times that they want to flash the LED. So we give it an ID and a name. And then this is all in a form, and there's going to be a submit button here that just says flash LED. So that's a bit of nasty HTML there. So that is going to be our send string, and then to send that out, we will use the send function, code 200, and then this will be text HTML send string. And that is handle root. Now let's write something for handle not found. Found. I'm going to send 404. And we'll just put this as text. All right, so this is the error. And now for the handle LED, let's write that. Handle LED. So what do we want to do here? The user is going to enter a number of times that they want to flash the LED. So basically we're going to get the argument that the client passed to us, parse it, and then set up a loop and flash the LED. So we're going to check the server arg. So server arg. And this is called our argument flash number, if you remember here. Give it the name flash number. It's not equal. Basically just checking that it does have a value. And we're going to print a message out to the screen. stating how many the number that were received. So we'll say string message equals number received. And message plus equals, and then we'll use this server arg flash number. Alright, else if we didn't receive anything, we'll just handle that. We'll say server.send 200 number not received. Just let them know that we didn't receive an argument for that. Alright, so now let's set up loop. We have this flash, so let's get the argument first. And this is sent to us as a string, so we're going to have to convert it. Let's convert this to an int. Number flashes stir dot to int. Nice thing about the string, Arduino string, is that it has these functions built in, like such as to int. All right, let's set up a loop. Int x equals 0. Less than x plus plus. And let's see, let's turn it off first. 16 high, and we'll delay half a second, should be good. And then right again, so turn it on, and then we will delay again. All right. And now after all of that's done, we don't want to leave the LED on, so we'll go ahead and turn it back off. All right, let's go ahead and verify this, make sure we don't have any bugs in here. Notice that this board, compared to the Arduino, takes a lot longer to compile. Go ahead and fix that bug. All right, if everything compiles, go ahead and upload it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead off camera, off the recording, update this Wi-Fi name and password, and then upload it. We'll give it a shot. All right, there are a few things that I missed. Let's go ahead and put those in there now. So you can just tell the server to begin. After it sets up the connector or the listeners. And then down here, if there is an error, we just want to go ahead and return. And then when we receive the number of times it wants to, the LED flash, we'll go ahead and send a message back telling the user that we received the number of flashes. So for this, we'll just say, let's put the message here. text playing. Message. All right, let's give it a shot.
After powering up the ESP, we connected to our Wi-Fi router to determine what IP address it's connected to. And then we enter that here in the browser. And here's the web page it's serving. So we'll go ahead and enter a number in here and hit the submit button. We'll enter 4, hit toggle. Watch it flash 4 times. Great, now that we've got the web server set up, this opens up lots of possibilities for electronics projects, so stay tuned. If you have any comments, please leave them below, and thanks for watching.